Yo, what's up everybody? Lawler here with another video, and this one, an interesting conversation altogether. A director of an esports team saying that he is embarrassed by the fact that the performance his team has had has not gone well. Let's talk about it. What's up everybody? Lawler here. Going to be talking about Guild Esports, a team that has seen some ups and downs. For those that don't know, at the tail end of last season of RLCS, Guild went on and won an event, and a lot of people were like, yeah, this team's great, it's amazing, blah blah blah, and a lot of us were like, honestly man, I don't really see it. A lot of teams have kind of just said, there's no worlds, why am I competing? Not that that's an excuse, because Guild did still look good. Reality for me didn't really set in until we really got to come across a roster change and a bunch of other things happening, and then some results that got paired with it. And apparently the director of esports at Guild is also not all that happy, saying that he's embarrassed and that he sincerely apologizes. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Guild's director of esports, Grant Russo, I apologize if I butcher his name, took notice of the downward trend that had been happening and decided to address it on social media. And ironically enough, the tweet has been deleted. The tweet did read, though, I am absolutely and utterly embarrassed that we have failed to make a Regional 2 in Rocket League. To all the Guild fans out there, I sincerely apologize. We have come out of the gate extremely poor this season, and that's not good enough for y'all. We'll fix it. And this comes off of a couple different things. If you guys don't know about Guild's path so far, in Regional 1, which was kind of the seeding event, they came in as the original 6th seed. Top 6 is a pretty big deal, obviously, in the region, showing like World Championship qualifications of last season. Despite this, they ended up finishing tied for 9th and not making it into the main event initially. They ended up going 2-3 and losing to teams such as Williams Resolve, Semper, the new Top Looks roster, and the new Dignitas roster, with wins over K-Corp, which a lot of people were like, holy cow, K-Corp just looked incredible at the We Play Esports Invitational, and beating 0-0 Nation. So a little bit of inconsistency issues, but for the most part, it's like, you know what, not too bad. They go neutral 10-10. It's a tough roster. We then go into the closed qualifier event, where again, the results, they barely scrape by. They're beating teams that I personally have never heard of, losing to Vodafone Giants, the new Solar roster, with wins over Singularity, and FC Barcelona barely. It went to Game 5. They were down by 2 with 18 seconds left. They tied up, win in OT. Barcelona throws it away. Quite honestly, Guild most likely wasn't going to qualify in Regional 1 as well. And that's kind of the difficulty, is their results have definitely been just barely scraping by against notable teams that they should be dominating. Teams that they should not even blink twice at. And the results just haven't been there, despite having a star-studded lineup. Former World Championship in Devo, Bluey, who's been a previous MVP, and a bunch of synergy and showed their promise with FC Barcelona, the original, when they were primarily signed as Savage. You still have a super mechanical player in Nolly, but they just haven't really been able to find the route to success. The counterattacks have been solid, defensive play and everything else has been working, but with how fast everybody's improving and getting, you're kind of being left behind. And we see that further exemplified in the second regional, where they don't end up qualifying at all. They come into the closed qualifier again as a top seed, primarily 5th, and they don't accomplish it. They again go out 2-3 and lose to 0-0 Nation, Barcelona, and Giants. End up beating a team that most people don't know, even though they showed it's Cookster's Minions, which is Cookster Growly and RXI. Cookster, obviously former world champ, Flipside Tactics, etc. And then beating Rix.GG, another team that many have kind of written off. So they're getting wins against teams that are definitely in the like bottom 16 to 20 range, but anything above that, they're struggling. And there's been this giant question mark about why, what's going on, what's happening, and the results haven't been there. Because of these results, they're missing out on crucial points. This season of RLCS has been more cutthroat than it's ever been. Not only is there no wild card option for the grid, where basically 5 teams are removed from the conversation and you get a chance as if you're the 6th best team, but every single event matters. The ability to get points or not. Right now, if you finish top 16, which they've done once, they finished in the 12 to 16 range, which means they get 40 points, and they're one step away from qualifying into the main event, so they get 30 points. Right now, they're sitting at a grand total of 70 points, which overall puts them in 16th best team after they were arguably one of the teams that had a chance to go and compete for a world championship. That is a massive change, and a lot of people left wondering what the result is. The biggest reason I talk about this is I think it's something that we see a lot more in traditional sports, but not necessarily in esports, where an organization, owner, director, whatever it may be, directly addresses the results of the team not living up to the expectation, and that they're going to do whatever they can to make sure that they better the situation. And I look at it, especially with the heavy investments and the things that Guild has been doing. Guild is expecting to be one of the best. They're expecting to have their name in conversation with one of the best. And the fact that they're nowhere near even close to striking range, and we haven't even finished the second regional, which is going on this weekend, that gap is going to increase even more. A lot of teams still debating of up to 300 plus additional points. I mean, you're talking the difference between some of these teams where they're going to jump up and leave a gap of 100, 200 plus. They're essentially doubling your score. Not only are you out of the running for the regional, you're out of the running for the major, and the major is worth 2 regionals worth of points. It adds early concerns that if they don't immediately come out and have standout performances, it's the reality that their season's technically already over. I discussed this at the last event that I ended up casting at the We Play Invitational about how I don't think we're ever going to see a BS type run where they win 90% of all the tournaments. There's too much parity. There's too many good teams and talent and depth for that to happen, especially in this cutthroat type circuit-based format. And the reason why you're seeing this already, bunch of teams kind of reform and come together, and Guild's kind of just been forgotten about, which is scary to think about. That's what the level of competition is coming. And I don't necessarily mean this to be a direct attack by any means at Guild, but the expectation is there for them to do well. The players are extremely talented, so why aren't the results? And it's difficult because everybody else is also grinding and trying to improve at the same rate, while they're also trying to play catch up and find out the recipe for success, if you will. I don't know if the pressure from the director on top of it saying we'll do better and that I apologize for basically our team's terrible performance, but we're going to fix it. Those types of comments, I don't know how I feel about. I don't know if it's going to be the motivation or it's a wake-up call to say, hey, you guys got to get it together, because if you don't, some heads are going to be on the chopping block. But that unnecessary pressure could also double down and make it even worse. The team has been eliminated already from the second regional. They've got this weekend and another 2 before they get back into the competition to try again through qualifiers. And it concerns me. It concerns me about what could possibly happen to this Guild roster that has been trying to build and create a base level of competition to be successful, because it has been all over the place. So I feel for the players. I feel for the team. I think it's a really difficult scenario to be involved in, and part of the reason why the tweet most likely has been deleted. But I'm curious on what you guys think. How do you guys feel about the scenario? Do you think it's a little bit harsh from the director? Do you think it's kind of the hard reality of the whole thing? Do you feel like Guild does have potential to get back to that spot? They've been in the circumstance of so close to qualifying multiple times, but if you're scraping by to make top 16, I don't give you good chances to make top 8. I really don't. It's just, there's so many good teams in that conversation right now, and every time you do get to the main event, it's not going too well. You're getting a win here or there, but against the top dogs, the most frustrating part is they're going close. You go against a team like BDS, you go to 5. You go against a team like Williams Resolve, you go to 5. Not getting those wins can make or break a season, and it honestly reminds me of version 1 of last year, where you go to 5, you're super close, you're playing against the top dogs, and until you just get that one upset, seeding is going to be against you every single time, because their first match of the day, if you're towards the bottom, you're playing the top 3, top 4 teams in the region. It's pretty much a surefire loss to start off with. Not a good way to be. So again, this season is cutthroat. It's absolutely brutal, but I'm curious on what you guys think. How do you feel about the message with the director of esports? Do you think Guild's got a shot? I just think it's an interesting talking piece to kind of really show and emphasize how brutal this season is and how cutthroat this format is, because Ultimately, I'm for it. I'm excited for it, and we'll be talking a lot more about the majors and what they truly mean moving forward. But let me know in the comments down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.